Hello, my puzzles and survival friends. Today, we're going to talk about focusing a troop type. The game Military offers 3 different troop types and vehicles: fighters, shooters, riders, and vehicles. Vehicles are not that important because there is little that offers buffs to them. Each troop type is strong and weak against one of the other, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Focusing one of these troop types will be your main goal. Leveling all of them equally will slow you down tremendously and cost an impossible amount of promotions and enhancements to get good, unless you spend a lot of money. Most players are focused to one troop type. This requires you to put all of your energy and materials into one of them. Doing so will make you incredibly strong and use your hard-earned materials efficiently. So, let's talk about picking a troop type. This is fairly easy. Since most of you watching this will already have an account that is somewhat progressed, you should pick your most enhanced and most promoted troop and take into consideration the special heroes for each type that are only awarded in events. If they are all equal, consider this: riders are faster than either type. However, this means that a lot of people are riders. Remember when I said that each type is strong and weak against the other? Well, shooters, they are strong against riders, but they're weak to fighters. Riders are strong against fighters, but they're weak to shooters. This is important in arena for commander duel, attacking sanctuaries, and other PvP events like Nuka. Once you have your focus, it's time to apply the focusing. There are 3 boosts in the game that increase your troop focus stats, and those are attack, defense, and HP. Attack should be prioritized before defense and HP. Some of these buffs come in just troop and not a specific type. For example, Marlowe. He boosts HP, defense, and attack, but not to a specific troop type, just your troop in general. And then this means all of them. However, they are generally less of a boost than ones that are made towards your focus. So you'll see that he's +2 enhanced, and he only boosts the troop by 12%. However, if we go to the closer one I have is Phoenix, she is +3, and she boosts my shooters by 48%. So what you'll want to do is increase your troop type stats with multiple aspects of the game. This includes gear, chips, mods, Nova points, glory points, your research, and commander talents. You will also work on prioritizing training and which heroes you level up. So we're going to go over each one. Gear is a little complicated because each piece offers all 3 buffs, but for different types. You'll see the shield, it offers defense and HP for riders, but it only offers attack for shooters. So my focus on this account is shooters. And if you'll look, you'll see I have promoted my 2 attack pieces, which happen to be shield, which boosts shooter attack, and my boots, which also does shooter attack. Then I moved on to my other pieces that have HP and defense, which those happen to be my ring, and the other one is my chest piece, defense and HP. I am at the point where it takes a lot of promoters to move my pieces up. So I gave a little promotion and enhancement to the other pieces, but that is mainly to get farther in Ruins, because Ruins doesn't care about your focus. It goes down to your boost for all types. So you'll see that the pieces that I'm working on, which again are my shield, my ring, my chest, and my boots, are a lot higher enhanced and promoted than my weapon and my head piece, because neither of these boost shooters. And you're going to see this a little bit more clearly under the other chips and mods. So chips are super easy because they come down to troop type. You'll see that mine are the same way as gear, the shooter buffs in my case. The chips are promoted and enhanced the most on my focus chips. However, I didn't totally neglect the others, but they came last. The good thing about chips and mods is that if you can take any of them and use it to enhance another and then put a basic in its place. That's what I did when I first started my focus, because I had a fighter chip that was 5 stars. I pulled it out of its slot by unequipping it. And, excuse me, and then I just used it to enhance my shooter chip. And what I did with the empty slot was I just went into Ruins here and I bought myself a basic fighter chip and I put it in its place. And since then I've promoted and enhanced it a little bit. But again, that's just to move up in my Ruins level. So this allowed me to use my previous work on my newly found focus. You can do the same thing with mods. Before we move on to those, though, I want to show you. You see, all of my chips are very highly promoted and enhanced on my shooter, and the rest are just a little bit as we go. Now, there is this last chip here, this troop chip, and these are kind of rare. They're you get them through Hero Duel, which is placing in the top 500 in the arena for Hero Duel Survival. If you get into Glory, which is the top 500, this is where you'll be able to buy those troop chips, and you will see that they do boost troop, which is all 3 types, but it is very low in consideration to the specific ones, again, which I'm up to 40% on my shooter chips, and these troop chips are like 1.3. Either way, work with what you got. Mods work the same way as shooters. Boost your focused mod, and if you must, use other mods to boost your focus and replace them with beginner mods, like we did with the chips, but instead you get these from the Rare Earth shop. So you can get your basic mods here. And again, you would just pull them out and use it to enhance the other, but I'm not going to do that. Let's just show you an example. Now, you'll see that I have the ability to promote my fighter chip, but I don't want to because I want to use those promoters on my shooter chips. Anyway, let's move on to the Nova military points. These you can spend to level up fighters, shooters, unfortunately vehicles, riders, and it does have some troop boosts. As you see, I have everything at least at level 10 because it did not cost much to get there. However, my shooter buffs are a lot higher. I also put a few points in the troop buffs compared to my non-focus, which would be fighters and riders, because troop boosts do happen to boost my focus too, just not as much. You'll see troop defense for level 13 is only plus 8%, and my shooter... No, it doesn't have shooter defense, but take a look at a level 10 does 12% compared to the 8% on troop. Anyway, if you have these mixed up and you're just starting your focus and you have them all equal, you can reset these. You just go to upgrade them and you click reset here. It does cost a modifying kit, and you can get those in the Alliance shop, but it resets it to 1, and you get back all those points to put them where you want to, which would be your focus. And that's it for Nova. So let's hop over to your research. And this you've been working with for a while. But under military, these will also offer attack, HP, and defense boosts for all troop types. I research everything here, but I prioritized my shooter and troop size buff first. Researching everything will increase your floor level in ruins, but save the ones that aren't your focus for last. Glory points also can be used when focusing, and should be used, I mean to say. So you come up here to your glory level, and you see that each building offers a different buff. And my non-focus types are only at level 10. And the reason I put them all at level 10 is 1, because of ruins, but 2, when you go to refinement, they'll have certain requirements. Like this is own 15 buildings with glory level 10, which I had. So I'm able to upgrade my refinement when I get the points. But you will see that my shooter building, my shooter camp is level 23, and that's going to boost my shooter attack by 40%. However, my rider camp is only at level 10, and that boosts it by 12%. So I just put all of my effort and my points into my shooters. And don't forget the troop section, which also increases my shooters a little bit, but mainly it just boosts everybody. Now we're going to talk about your talent points. If you haven't watched my video on VIP 10, I would suggest heading over to that next, because that VIP 10 and swapping these talents changes the way that you play the game, makes it so much more efficient. Anyway, you're going to want to focus these points as well. And this looks kind of like your research building. Luckily, you only have to do one side to get to the next tier. So you see, fighters are not my focus. So I just tried to get down to the next tier by putting points in fighter HP and skipping fighter defense. Same thing here. I skipped vehicle and rider. However, I put all of my points into shooter. And here, unfortunately, I had to put a lot of points into one side, but I didn't do both. I just did enough to get me down further in the tiers. And so the last thing that we're going to talk about is heroes. Heroes are incredibly important for your troops in rallies and provide mega boosts to attack, defense, and HP. There are specific heroes for each troop type, and then there are heroes that give troop boosts that boost everything, like we talked about with Marlowe. In your rally, you will only want heroes that boost your troop focus because they will give the best boost compared to everything else. When you start, you will have a couple of 3-star heroes, a 4-star, and if you're lucky, a 5-star. You'll want to prioritize enhancing these heroes to their max, because each enhancement gives a higher percentage boost for your focus. There are a few heroes that are only attainable during events, and those will take a long time to enhance, but well worth it, because the higher star the hero, the more boost it gives. For example, my 3-star heroes for shooters, which would be Griffin. Where is he? Right here. He is maxed enhanced at +5, and he offers 50% boost to my shooter defense and attack. However, if I come up here to, I think it's pronounced Ephraim, I have him at +5, and he's technically 6-star, but he boosts my stats by 100%, just because he's higher star, so he gives more. And you'll see that when you go to enhance them, they'll give you even more boosts. Now I do want to show you real quick my lineup. So these are the heroes that I take into my rally with me, and you'll see I do have a 3-star hero in here. And that is because he offers better boosts than a 5-star troop booster would currently. Just because I don't have anything else enhanced enough to beat his boosts. And specific focus heroes are better than troop boosts most of the time. Do not use the heroes that only offer troop boosts in your rally lineup unless they offer a bigger boost than your lowest. So, for example, the 2-star heroes. Let's take a look at them real quick. 2-star heroes for the shooter would be Amber. She's maxed enhanced, and she only offers 10% boost. However, if I go all the way up here to my 5-star troop heroes, Mars, for example, he's a troop boost. At +3 enhanced, he offers 19% increase, which is better than 10%. Therefore, if I had to pick between Amber or Mars, I would pick Mars. And that's pretty much it for heroes. Quickly, I'll go over training. When you're training your troops, train as many of your focus as you can. The goal is to have close to 1,000,000. I know, sounds like a lot. So eventually you can fill all 5 of your marches with focused troops. Having this many troops of your focus will also make your sanctuary near impossible to topple. Because, excuse me, a 200k troop army coming at you to stand against your 1,000,000 troops, and even if they're weak, even if you are weak to the aggressor, you will likely not lose. I have 550,000 shooters, and I have only about 100,000 of the others. And once I get up to 1,000,000 shooters, even if I stayed at T9, the T10s would not be able to win when attacking my sanctuary. So that's about it for focusing. Oh, one other thing. This last thing, I promise. We'll come down here to Commander Duel. This is where the strong and weak come into play the most. So I'm going to click on their character, and it's going to show me what they have. So they have riders, T9 riders, and I have T9 shooters. So already I know I'm at an advantage because shooters counter riders, and he is weak to my shooters. So I'm just going to come down here and check the stats just to make sure it's nothing crazy. Because if he has 500% more attack than me, he'll probably win. But my attack is at 1,200 and his is at 845. I have no doubt I would win this. And let's see. Yep. And so if I looked at somebody and they were fighters, I probably wouldn't want to mess with them if we were close. Yeah. We have about the same rally size. They are fighters. And they have about 900% in their attack boost. But, take a look, they also have 300% in their troop attack. So that's about the same as combined as my shooters. So I would likely lose this because fighters counter shooters. So that's it, guys. A little bit longer video. I wanted to cover this pretty thoroughly because this is a very important aspect of the game. A lot of people are focused, and it's just the best way to do it. Unless you have a bunch of money to throw into it. So thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed it.